everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a trip back in time, swapping the concert stage for the silver screen. We're diving deep into the often overlooked, sometimes criticized, but undeniably fascinating film career of the one and only king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. How did the boy from Tupelo, Mississippi, who shook up the world with his voice and his hips, become one of Hollywood's biggest box office draws of the 1960s? Let's find out. Our story begins in 1956. Elvis is already a cultural phenomenon. His records are flying off the shelves, and his TV appearances are causing a national sensation. Hollywood, never one to miss a golden opportunity, came knocking. Legendary producer Hal Wallace saw more than just a singer. He saw a charismatic star with the raw magnetism of actors like James Dean and Marlon Brando. Elvis himself had dreams of being a serious actor, looking up to those very same idols. He didn't want to just sing in movies, he wanted to act. His first film, Love Me Tender, was a Western released in late 1956. Originally, Elvis was offered a small, non-singing role, but the studio, eager to capitalize on his musical fame, added 4 songs and bumped him up to a starring role. The film was a massive hit, and the title track became a #1 single. It was clear the public wanted to see Elvis on the big screen, and they definitely wanted to hear him sing. This set a precedent that would define much of his Hollywood career. Next came 2 of his most iconic and critically respected films, Loving You and Jailhouse Rock, both released in 1957. Loving You was semi-autobiographical, telling the story of a delivery boy who becomes a music star. It gave us a glimpse into the whirlwind of Elvis's own life, but it was Jailhouse Rock that truly cemented his cinematic persona. His portrayal of Vince Everett, a rebellious ex-convict who becomes a rock star, was electrifying. The iconic dance sequence for the title song, choreographed by Elvis himself, is one of the most famous moments in movie history. It's often cited as the first ever music video. In these early films, Elvis proved he had genuine acting chops and a powerful screen presence. Fourth film, King Creole, released in 1958, is widely considered his best acting performance. Directed by Michael Curtiz, the same director behind Casablanca, this film noir drama set in New Orleans allowed Elvis to sink his teeth into a complex character. He played Danny Fisher, a troubled youth trying to make it as a singer in a shady nightclub world. Elvis loved the role, and it showed. He delivered a nuanced, powerful performance that earned him praise from critics. He had achieved his dream of being a serious actor. It felt like the sky was the limit. But then, life intervened. In 1958, at the peak of his fame, Elvis was drafted into the U.S. Army. For 2 years, he served in Germany, stepping away from the spotlight. When he returned in 1960, the world had changed, and so had the strategy for his career. His manager, Colonel Tom Parker, had a new vision for Elvis in Hollywood. The post-Army era marked a significant shift. The goal was no longer critical acclaim but maximum profit. The formula was simple. Put Elvis in an exotic location, surround him with beautiful women, add a handful of catchy but often forgettable songs, and wrap it all in a light, fun-filled plot. The first film of this new era was G. Blues, a musical comedy that capitalized on his recent military service. It was a huge box office success, and the soundtrack album was #1 for 10 weeks. The formula worked, perhaps a little too well. This kicked off a relentless schedule. Throughout the 1960s, Elvis starred in an astonishing 27 movies. Films like Blue Hawaii, Viva Las Vegas, and Fun in Acapulco became his trademark. Blue Hawaii was a tropical paradise on screen, and its soundtrack, featuring the timeless Can't Help Falling in Love, became his most successful album ever. It stayed at #1 for 20 weeks. And who could forget Viva Las Vegas? The on-screen chemistry between Elvis and Anne Margaret was electric, creating a vibrant, high-energy musical that perfectly captured the glitz and glamour of Sin City. It remains one of his most beloved films, a pure shot of fun and entertainment. However, as the decade wore on, the quality of the films began to decline. The scripts became weaker, the plots more formulaic, and the songs less inspired. Elvis himself grew tired of the routine. He was an artist trapped in a commercial machine, churning out movies like Harum Scarum, Paradise, Hawaiian Style, and Clambake. He privately referred to them as travelogues. He longed for more challenging roles, but Colonel Parker was reluctant to change a winning and highly profitable formula. The box office returns started to dwindle as audiences grew tired of the same old story. By the late 1960s, Elvis knew he needed a change. He wanted to reconnect with his musical roots and with his audience in a more direct way. His final few narrative films, like the Western Charo and the urban drama Change of Habit, saw him attempting to break away from the musical comedy mold. In Charo, he sported a beard and didn't sing a single song on screen, a dramatic departure. In Change of Habit, he played a doctor working in an inner-city clinic alongside Mary Tyler Moore as a nun. These films showed his desire to evolve as an actor, but by then, his movie career was winding down. The true turning point came in 1968 with his legendary comeback special, Dressed in Black Leather. Elvis reminded the world that he was, first and foremost, a revolutionary musician. This spectacular television event revitalized his career and set the stage for his triumphant return to live performing. His final cinematic outings were two concert documentaries, Elvis, That's the Way It Is in 1970 and Elvis on Tour in 1972. These films weren't about fictional characters. They were about the real Elvis, the commanding, charismatic performer in his element on the Las Vegas stage. They captured the raw energy and magic of his live shows, providing a powerful final chapter to his journey in film. Elvis on Tour even won a Golden Globe for Best Documentary. So, how should we remember Elvis's cinematic journey? It's a mixed bag for sure. It's a story of incredible potential, commercial success, and artistic frustration. While many of the films were light-hearted fun, they often didn't do justice to his talent. Yet, through films like King Creole and Jailhouse Rock, he proved he could be a compelling dramatic actor. And even in the fluffiest of his movies, his undeniable charisma and star power always shone through. His 31 feature films grossed over $2 billion in today's money, making him one of the most bankable stars of his time. They introduced his music to a global audience and created a visual legacy that is just as iconic as his sound. From the raw rebellion of his early roles to the sun-soaked fun of his 60s musicals, Elvis's time in Hollywood is a vital part of his story, a fascinating chapter in the life of the king. What's your favorite Elvis movie? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this look back at Hollywood history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more. See you next time.
Has left the building.